if you inspire, 10 or 15 or 100 more people to say, you know what, I'm ready to step into the ring and do what it takes to get real results, I'm done kidding myself, then you've done exactly what I'm hoping that we do, and that's help people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives, and you are now an extension of that mission.
This is The Fit Mess with Zach and Jeremy.
All right, this is The Fit Mess. I'm Jeremy, and that guy over there with the phlegm in his throat is Zach.
What's up, everyone?
Battling the crud a little bit. So far, I've dodged the bullet. We can get into all that in just a little bit, but thank you for listening to the show. This episode, we're going to be talking to the CEO of Beachbody. Beachbody, what's that? Great question. It's a terrific home workout, home fitness program. Everything you need from nutrition to various exercises. We're going to get into all of that with Carl Daikeler, the CEO of Beachbody. But let's start with where we're at right now, Zach. You've been sick since I last saw you in the lovely state of Florida.
Yep, and I've been sick, and we were on vacation together, so I didn't do any workouts, and quite frankly, we didn't eat super healthy either. So it was a wonderful vacation. No exercise and terrible eating.
I'm gonna fight back on the didn't exercise part. We walked a good 10 miles a day, traversing the various Disney World parks.
That's true.
So that's a lot of work. That's some serious hiking right there, and dragging kids around trying to get to the thing on time because of the fast pass and all that. Not an easy task.
No, there was definitely a lot of walking, a lot of sore feet, but yeah, in between that walking was not the healthiest of options.
Oh my God. Yeah. I am excited as a vegetarian. I can't remember which one of you pointed this out, but apparently the Impossible Burger folks have teamed up with Disney. So by the time I go back to a Disney park, there should be plenty of Impossible Burgers for me to enjoy and get my fake protein.
Yeah, I might have to try that. I know the burger that we had at Magic Kingdom didn't really even qualify as a burger for me. It was
a real meat one, right? You didn't get the vegetarian option.
Yeah, I got the real meat one, and for some reason that one was just it was a really expensive plain burger. Okay.
Yeah, I did have whatever the vegetarian burger option was. It was all right. It worked. It fed me. Yeah. One of the days I had something I felt just awful. Like within a couple hours, I just wanted to die. I don't remember what it was, but
one of the food.
Could
85-degree heat.
Yeah, it could have been 85-degree heat, 90% humidity. That was horrific. But yeah, and by the way, that this is just us bitching for a minute. But the 4 days that we're walking 10 miles a day in Disney parks, it's hot, muggy, wet. And then when it comes time to like chill out by the pool and go on a boat ride and go to the beach, it's suddenly like 68 in Seattle. Like it's just cold. I'm not happy with that part. I'm still frustrated.
Yeah, it was very cruel. Very cruel.
But anyway, so like you said, we back to reality, back to the day-to-day grind. And I intended to go home and dive right into getting back on track and all that. Of course I didn't, because I'm lazy and didn't want to. And it's Girl Scout cookie season, so we got all our Girl Scout cookies, which I had to eat all of. So feeling good about myself.
Yep. It's funny how an entire box disappears and you're like, wait a minute, I only had a couple.
Oh, just one box?
Yeah.
So my intention, once I powered through the remaining Girl Scout cookies last night, was this is it. I got myself a new journal. I was waiting for the first of the month to start it so I didn't waste any pages, and started writing in all of my intentions, all the things I wanted to do. I was going to drink a lot more water. I was going to work out every day, going to start fasting at night again, and go back to a keto-ish diet of eating. And most of that, whatever I'm 12 hours in on or whatever, so far so good. Meant to hit the gym today and start. I wanted to start some Beachbody program because we just talked to the CEO. I'm all fired up about it. I want to get back in and do some sort of a program because the last time I did had great results, was super excited about it. So I was going to do it today, and then, work gets in the way. The time I was going to set aside to go hit the gym and get in my 30 minutes didn't work out. So now I've got to look forward to doing it tonight after taking my kids to swim class, getting my kids to bed, and then being totally exhausted. That's when I've got to fire up the TV and do the home workout tonight. And I can already hear the voices. They're already saying, "Oh, you're going to be so tired. You're not going to want to do it. You got a full day, man. Swim class, getting home late, getting the kids to bed. That's too much. You're going to want to just watch TV." I can already hear it.
It'll be a full day, but it won't be complete.
Yes, and this is the thing. The last time I did a home workout through Beachbody, it was the Shaun T Transform 20 program.
Yeah.
And I had the mindset. We've talked about this over and over again on the show. It's having the mindset to overcome whatever the thing is you're trying to overcome. In that case, all I had to tell myself every day was, it's 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You got the whole day. At some point, you have 20 minutes to do this. It doesn't have to be the same time. It doesn't have to be on your lunch break at work. It doesn't have to be in the morning. It just has to get done before you go to bed. And so I need to convince myself of that every time I start hearing that voice that says, "Oh man, it's a lot. Maybe tomorrow, maybe just start tomorrow." I've been starting tomorrow for like 30 years. So I have to start today. I've already asked my wife if she'll do the workout with me tonight. And I think she is going to want to do it with me every day. So this might be a case where I have to do it at home every night. Or get up early or some godforsaken thing like that.
Well, that's the beauty of the Beachbody workouts, though. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are. You don't need a gym. You can do all this at home. It's really quite flexible that way. That
is the thing that I like about it. Now I know you're a CrossFit guy. You actually go to the physical gym to work out. You've done both. How does it work for you?
I really enjoy the community at the gym that I go to. And I do find that, doing the Beachbody workouts it's really quite good for, like, if I'm in a hotel room or, traveling or something like that. And to be quite honest, like, when you're out of shape, you don't want anyone else to see you out of shape. So, I mean, they're awesome for, doing them at home. And I probably did Beachbody workouts exclusively for close to 4 years. I mean, I think they're awesome, but I do really enjoy the pushing play and they tell you what to do. I still don't enjoy that part of going to the gym and being like, I don't know how to use this stuff. I haven't put together a program. And that's why I like CrossFit, because you walk in, they tell you what to pick up and put down. You don't have to think. You just show up, you lift heavy things, and then you walk out.
See, I've got in the back of my mind, starting this fall, both my kids are going to be going to the same school, and I'm going to get like an hour and a half of my day back, 3 days a week.
Amazing.
Right. I'm so excited for it. And I keep thinking, there's this gym right down the street, super cheap. I could drop the kids off and go to the gym there before I even go to work and have to rely on being able to step out for a break to go work out. But I know that the minute I walk into that gym, unless I've got a class to attend where there's structure, I'm going to be lost. And they can tell you over and over again, we have all these circuit machines. Just do all of these machines over the course of 30 minutes or whatever, and you get a good workout in. I don't want to do that. That sounds like garbage. There's nothing pushing me to work harder, to work faster. And when you're watching the clock on one of these home workout things and you're being guided and motivated by the trainer, it helps a bunch. We'll talk about this with Carl Daikeler, but the idea, there's one of the Shaun T workouts that we did where he doesn't talk. It's all you and it's in your head. And that is so difficult when you have to rely on yourself to get it done, because at any point you can give up. There's nobody there pushing you to do it better, to do it faster, to do it the right way, whatever. So I've already basically talked myself out of joining a gym, because I know that unless there's a class, I'm probably not going to go. And then I'm going to end up being that guy that pays a bill every month for something I don't use.
Yeah, no, it's traditional gyms this is my opinion and this is how I feel, but, traditional gyms of going in and just doing the workout. I mean, unless you're really into it and you've got, an extra hour and a half every day to, plan out the workouts and figure out, how to test different parts of your body, it's really quite difficult and kind of a crapshoot, really. You go in and work out on the machine that's free. It's not fun.
It's not fun. And I also know myself that unless there's something that I've signed up for, the idea of having to get there and follow through and do it, I'm not going to do it. But if it's something that I've reserved time, I've reserved a class, if I've paid to go to a yoga class on Sunday morning, I'm going to go because I paid to go to that class.
Right.
But if there's this bill that just gets paid, it's just too easy to go, as long as I go a couple times this month, I'm getting my money's worth. Oh, I didn't go. I'll go 4 times next month. I'll make it. I'm not disciplined enough to go to a place. But if I'm in my living room and I've got, some sort of reminder, some incentive of, maybe my wife and I doing this together, maybe that becomes the incentive where we push each other to make sure we get it done every day. I don't know. But I've just got to find a way to lock in the mindset of you're going to do this sometime before you go to bed. So as long as I do that, I think I'll be back in literally and figuratively in good shape, because when I did this last time, I never felt stronger. I never felt more confident. Everything worked better. You start seeing muscle definition that you didn't know was even possible.
Mm-hmm.
So there's nothing but good that can come from it. And so I need to get disciplined and follow through starting today.
Nice. Are you going to do Transform 20 again?
No, we're going to do, so here's the other thing, because I'm trying to do a true reset. Everything that worked for me the first time around, I'm going to do again. So we're going to start with the 3-week yoga retreat.
Nice. Good deal. Because
the other thing was, I thought about Transform 20, but I was like, God, 6 weeks. Again, just trying mentally to get to that place again. 6 weeks sounds too big to me. So I was looking at the different 3-week options. And when I first started working out, first started doing anything, it was yoga.
Yeah.
And I need sort of that spiritual connection with myself. It's a good physical workout. So I was like, 3 weeks, I can do that. Yoga is a great place to start. I don't have to have the right shoes. I don't have to have the right thing. I can just do it and it'll be fine. So I'm pumped. I'm going to do it tonight and hopefully every day. No, I'm going to do it tonight and every day.
Okay. And
can report back on the next show. So I'm expecting good things from that. So I will report back on my progress. And by the way, we'll remind you again at the end of the interview, but if you go to the Beachbody website, they have a free, I believe it's a 2-week trial right now for anyone. You don't even need a special code from us. There's nothing in this for us. We just enjoy talking to Carl, and doing the workouts, but, beachbody.com. If you want to give it a shot and try and work out along with us, it would be fun to hear your results. So go to their website and do that. But we did get to talk to the CEO, Carl Daikeler, and we started with just basically an introduction to what Beachbody is, because if you're like me, you're seeing it on bus sides and commercials everywhere. So we asked him about that. Just what is Beachbody and where did it come from?
Well, there's the business answer, and there is the abstract answer about what it means for consumers. So the business answer is Beachbody is a 21-year-old company focused on helping people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. And the abstract answer for the consumer is what we want Beachbody to represent is, and the reason you're seeing it on buses and billboards and TV spots is we want to represent the solution that is comprehensive for people who are serious about finally doing what it takes to get real results. And what I mean by that is that Beachbody represents the total solution, including being more active, or what we would call fitness, eating, being conscious about your food choices, that's nutrition and supplementation, and peer support. So you have some accountability to like-minded people, so you're more likely to follow through with the decision to choose a fitness program and a nutrition program and then see it through. And that those sort of 3 pillars are what we have found gets people real results. So that's what we're representing in our advertising. Beachbody represents the results that you, as a consumer or a viewer, want to get. Now, I'll also add, I've been asked, Beachbody, isn't that a bit gratuitous? Is that politically correct to be judgmental and have everybody have to have a Beachbody? Which I find an interesting term, because it's a made-up word that we, when we named the company, it's certainly a term that connotes bathing suits and hard bodies and all that stuff. But really what we mean by it is that we want everybody to be comfortable enough in their own skin, that their self-esteem is strong enough that they are worthy of calling themselves a Beachbody, of feeling worthy of going to the beach. We hear too many stories of people like they go on family vacation and somebody who's not comfortable with their body will literally volunteer to hold the camera or will pose in a way where they're hiding themselves in family photos on the beach. And That's what we're trying to counteract. We're trying to really help people improve their self-esteem because they are being proactive about achieving a specific goal that works for them. Doesn't mean a six-pack, doesn't mean a hard body, but it does mean they're being more proactive about their activity level, their nutrition choices, and helping other people do the same. That is Beachbody.
So Zach's been using a lot more of the programs within Beachbody, the fitness routines, than I have. My first real introduction to it, I've dabbled in them here and there over the years, but when Transform 20 came out, last year, that was the first workout at home routine that I'd ever completed, start to finish, and I know what you're talking about. My confidence level was up. I felt stronger than I've ever felt in my life. But I think for me, the thing that kept me coming back every day was that the program was so much more than just moving your body. The sort of emotion coaching that Shaun T brings to that program, where, when you're digging deep to try and finish whatever move you're currently doing, he's also telling you this is where you need to find the motivation to keep going, not only now, but when life gets hard, when your job gets hard, whenever things get tough. That sort of emotional connection that he brought to that program was unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sort of opening a door to doing more of that, to bringing more of that to future programs?
Well, that has been the context of the way we approach creating programs since we started this back in 1998. Literally, choosing talent and coming up with concepts where a person feels emotionally and intellectually invested in that decision. Like I said, Beachbody it's not for everybody. It's for the people who are like, drawing a line in the sand, and I'm going to follow this through. I'm going to change my activity level. I'm going to eat different, and I'm going to engage in this program. So we saw that, P90X is perhaps the most famous iteration, and people literally were creating a relationship with the trainer on screen because we gave him the freedom to be more than just an aerobics instructor that you might be familiar with from the Jane Fonda days, but instead let his personality be free and let people be flawed on set and understand that in any point of the journey, you're probably talking to somebody, some viewer who is doing it wrong, about to quit, feels alone doing it in their living room, and that's why we call them super trainers, because these Shaun T's and Tony Hortons and Chalene Johnsons and Autumn Calabrese, like this collection of roughly 11 people who, I think it's 11, it changes as we add people, they have something special where their job is to connect emotionally with people, and literally the job of every workout is to both get people results in today's workout and get them to come back to tomorrow's workout. Like, those are our two objectives. And I think that's what you experienced, because Transform 20, man, you took on – that's a bear. That's a real beast of a program. And congratulations if you made it through the whole thing. That's no easy feat.
Made it through the whole thing. And I can't remember. I think it's during the last week. One of the sessions is like an hour long, and it recaps everything. And when I saw that, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can do that. But then I reached back to that, like every step of the way, there was something I didn't think I could do, and he helped get me through it. And literally, when I finished that thing, I was incredibly proud of myself because I just done something really hard and was so close to finishing the whole thing. And it was really strange to have this emotional connection to, and we had him on the show, so I felt sort of connected to him anyways, but to feel so emotional about completing something like that, and then to watch him get emotional at the end when he completed it, it brought the whole thing full circle. It was a really, really well done program.
It's really fun. One of the things that's great about owning the company and being the founder is that we get to experiment, do these crazy things. So, one thing that we did a few years ago was the first real-time program where the old P90X was 12 workouts that you repeat. But then with 80-Day Obsession, we literally shot it 80 days in succession so that every day you're getting character development. You're getting to know the cast and the trainer. And that creates that bond so that people are more likely to follow it through. And I'm sure, there was that one day, I don't know if you remember the video, but there was one day where I saw Sean talk a little bit less, and I went in and I said, could we do one workout where you don't say a word? It's completely silent, and let's just see what happens. And he was resistant at first, and then he was like, all right, let's go for it. And it was really intimidating.
Yeah.
And even our customers and subscribers were like, what is this? This is a terrible idea. And frankly, the feedback that we got back is that is one of the most emotionally revealing workouts that we've ever shot, because people literally had nothing to drown out the negative voice in their head, and they realized where their weaknesses were. Absolutely. And once they finished that silent workout, were far more capable of conquering that negative voice, because now the light's on in the room and they're no longer surprised by it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I remember that one very well. It was slightly jarring at first, but in the end, I think it was definitely worth it. I wanted to touch on, you started to allude to it, but I've been doing Beachbody workouts for a long time, and I dropped my initial 40 pounds off of the Insanity workout back in 2010, I think, 2011. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of people have asked me, what do you do? And I tell them that I essentially just try out these new videos that you guys have. And one of the main complaints or issues that people give me, or barriers to getting started that I hear is, oh, I don't want to do those things. They're boring. It's all repeated. There's no, there's no new content. It's just very boring. It's the same thing over and over again. But you spoke a minute ago about 80-Day Obsession, and you're changing some of the videos, but I would love to hear from your perspective why, Beachbody isn't boring, why it's exciting, and why there's, talk about some of the content that's out there and why there's something for everyone. Okay.
Well, first, let's talk about the alternative. Okay. What I find boring, I'm not a super social person, but walking around a gym trying to cobble together what machines I'm going to sit on and figure that out over the course of roughly an hour that I'll be wandering around, I find that incredibly boring. And I don't love fitness. I don't love working out. So for me personally, which is why I think the company's adept at what it does, is it's not a company that loves working out, so we're constantly trying to solve our own problems. So instead of this sort of meandering around the gym and putting a thing together and feeling intimidated by the other people in the room, with a Beachbody workout, the moment you push play, you are on a journey, and you got to finish that. And if you're I literally, the task of finishing that is so intense, of any of the workouts, whether they're 10 minutes long or 30 minutes long or an hour long. The knife fight that you're in with your own ego or your own limitations is so intense. It is anything but boring. It can be frustrating for sure, but it's anything but boring. And but also, different genre or modalities work for different people. So some people might be bored by a yoga class, whether it's in a studio or on a video, where other people find it stress relieving. So the good news is we've got 80 programs, literally 80 different programs that we've amassed over the course of 20 years that are available on Beachbody On Demand, one membership, and I guarantee you can find something that's going to be your jam on there, whether it's Sean's dancing program, we call it Size, or his earlier one, Hip Hop Abs, to a bodybuilding program called Body Beast, to, like I said, shaking things up a little and experimenting. We produced what I believe is the first explicit workout in the history of home video, where we hired this guy who's just an outrageously talented trainer, Amwala Caesar. We created a program called 6 Weeks of the Work. And as we shot it, we said, we want this to be like you're just in the gym with your guys, which means we're not going to foul language is welcome, just like you hear it at the gym. You're doing the most intense workout that we've shot in the last 5 years, so we let the language fly. Now, there's a clean version, and there's an explicit version. What's interesting is that 98% of the views that we get on 6 Weeks of the Work are the explicit version. So people are identifying with that sort of emotion, and that's what we get to do. So we're in the innovation business, and I think the people who find it boring have probably never tried to stick with something and really see it all through and feel the elation of checking off that last box on the calendar. I mean, last year we launched a program called Morning Meltdown 100, and it was all set to music. So it was like this. We had a DJ on set, and the trainer Jericho every day would come in and count off, this is workout number 1. And the goal is kind of like the Indianapolis 500. Your goal ultimately is to finish all 100 workouts. Whether you do it in 50 days or 100 days or 300 days, your goal is to finish 100 workouts. There's a DJ on set who's scoring live to the music, so it's like a dance party, but it's not a dance program. It's a well-rounded fitness program. But the point is that we want people to do it first thing in the morning. They know they're going to burn off a layer of fat, and they're going to do it by staying consistent and doing all 100 workouts. And that challenge is anything but boring to me. And so I guess everybody gets to pick their own boring. I think there's enough on the platform that if you're serious about getting results, you're not going to be bored by what you see in the mirror and what you see on the scale, because it works.
I've been trying to decide which program to take on next, and I'm in on this explicit thing. I've got to try this. That sounds amazing. I'm starting that Monday. That sounds awesome.
That 6 weeks of the work is so hard. Now we also provide 4 weeks of the prep if you wanted to prepare for it. That's just and you can do that. That's really, I think it's 12 workouts. You could go through it for 2 weeks if you want. You can go through it twice as 4 weeks, but then 6 weeks of the work actually happens in real time. But this is the first time, and we've been doing this again for a while through P90X and Insanity. This is the first time I've ever seen a cast member literally curl up in the fetal position at the end of the workout.
Well, I'll definitely be doing the prep then, because I'm kind of a lazy guy. I'm curious about your routine though, because I love that you hate working out and that you run this company. That I find that endlessly fascinating. But how do you decide what you're going to do when you go to work? I assume you work out every day.
No, not even close.
Really?
I can't stand it. And so I'll use our programs. I've certainly published my before and after photos, starting with our original Power 90, then to P90X and 21 Day Fix Extreme, 21 Day Fix. And, so I'll share when I go through a program. But this morning, that alarm went off at 5 a.m., and I was just like, no way. I just can't do it. I was at a business dinner the night before, so I was out later than normal, and I just couldn't get myself there. Now, I happen to be lucky enough. My day's going to end a little bit early today, so hopefully I'm going to go do it. So I'll do one of two things. Either I'll go to something that's in the library that's a favorite, or I'll experiment with something that we currently have in development. Right now we have 4 new programs in development, so I get the early sort of releases. I'll get the dailies, as they say. So I get to try them and then give my unvarnished feedback to the development team to make sure that we're hitting the marks. And so that's usually I'll do something that's in development just so I can have some synergy between actually getting a workout, which is good motivation for me, and giving feedback on a new program.
Sure. One thing I was curious about, I saw another interview where you talked about your frustration with seeing good trainers associate themselves with gimmicks or bad products. And in this field, the list of gimmicks and, sort of junk products seems endless. How, if someone's, seeing these ads on TV, seeing ads in magazines, whatever, what are some red flags that people can look for to know, this program's legit, this thing's not? How can people sort of navigate that territory and make sure they're not getting scammed?
Well, I think the first thing to ask yourself is, what am I going to do about my nutrition as I contemplate this fitness decision? Because you cannot outrun your fork. It's like if you don't change something about portion control, if you don't, if people aren't more aware of the sodas that they're drinking or the hidden sugars throughout the day, then the fitness is just not going to materialize, no matter gimmick or even if it's for real. So that's an important part. And that's what I think, we see all these connected stationary bike companies now coming online, and everybody's, very excited about the fitness industry, this new innovation of connected fitness. But again, it's only a third of the issue. We've seen so many equipment innovations fall by the wayside because people didn't change the way they ate, right? You can have a Fitbit on your wrist all day long counting steps, but if all those steps are walking through the food court at the mall, you're going to still have a problem. So that's point one. The other thing is really, people are smart. And when we started the company, it was very interesting because the industry around us, which is the infomercial industry or the fitness industry in general, when we said we were going to show, for instance, P90X, we were going to show people doing plyometrics and pull-ups and push-ups for 90 days, and it was going to be intense, and they were going to want to quit. The industry told us, you're crazy. Like, that won't sell. People need to be smiling, and you can't see them sweating, and they just need to be twisting or putting on a belt that is basically triggering the abs, and it's FDA approved. I don't know what the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, has to do with vibrating belts, but I guess they approve them now. So there's, all I would say to people is just look at it and go, really? Like, wouldn't everybody have incredible abs if you could just strap a belt on yourself, or if you could just do something for 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day, and that would work? Really? Like, you can literally do the math. How many calories am I going to burn? Will I break down enough muscle so the body has to work to rebuild that muscle? And how does that balance out with my calorie intake? Like, that's the easy math. And if every day you can have a healthy deficit of calories, by healthy deficit I'm saying maybe 200 to 400, you're burning 200 to 400 more calories a day than you're consuming. And that can mean a calorie deficit, like people are maybe consuming 1,500 calories a day, which means you want to be burning 2,000 calories a day, right? And that then every day you're getting 500 calories, and that can ultimately be 1, 2, 3 pounds a week, depending on the makeup of the food that you're eating. So,
Sure.
So you just look at it through that lens, and then it works. Like, I just would love people. I think it does a disservice when anybody in the fitness industry comes up with a gimmick that is some silver bullet that you can just stand on and twist or sit in and rock. It's just not going to work. And you know that in the fine print is going to be where the real results are. And then the fine print is going to say, You need to also follow a healthy nutrition plan and probably complement with other forms of exercise. That's what Beachbody never does. The fine print is what Beachbody is. Holistic approach to exercise, a smart nutrition plan that will support the metabolism and help your biology respond to the exercise, and supplements that can help us get what we're not getting from the normal food supply that we're eating. And that's where, a healthy shake like Shakeology or Performance Line that might help you with energy or recovery and those kind of things. But you don't have to go crazy with the supplements. You just need the right, good quality kind that are really delivering the potency you expect. Good news is it works 100% of the time that I've seen it when people do it. The bad news is you can't cut corners. It's not cheap and it's not effortless. But when you want it worse than you want to cut the corners, just like you experienced with Transform 20 or Insanity, it's like miraculous, and people can be so proud of themselves. That's the thing. It's not the company. All the company did was create the tools, but the people who build their house with resilience and courage and stamina, man, they've got so much to be proud of. And that's what's fun about running the company, is to see people overcome their own obstacles and get these results that are mind-blowing. That's what I'm so proud of.
Our thanks again to Carl Daikeler. He's the CEO of Beachbody. And again, if you want to give it a shot, you want to try out for yourself, beachbody.com. It's not even anything special from us. It's just something they're doing right now. You can try it out for a couple of weeks for free. All the workouts, I believe a bunch of the nutrition programs, all the information you need to dip your toe in the water and see how it feels. Go to beachbody.com, and we'll put a link on our website as well.
And even after the 2-week trial, this all of these workouts, it's $99 a year.
Is that all it is?
It's $99 a year. It's cheap. It's dirt cheap.
Oh my God. I thought it was way more than that. That's awesome.
No, it's like, for some people, you could pay that much a month at a gym.
I pay more than that for a yoga app. And well, I don't pay together. My Headspace and my yoga app, I pay more than that. And I would say I get far less out of those two than you would get out of this one.
Yeah, so it's such a great value at $99.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, the programs are fun. You get a lot out of them, so totally worth it. Totally worth at least doing it for free. See how you like it. So I suppose now we're getting to the end of the show. It's challenge time. I know, Zach, you've been fighting the crud, so I'm going to go easy on you, give a couple days. But since I'm forcing myself to get more physically active and develop a little bit more of a workout routine, I'm going to challenge you to do the same as soon as you're well enough.
As soon as I'm well enough. There's nothing like working out when you're sick. So I'm actually going to give myself a couple of extra days. Today is Monday, so my goal is to actually work out on Wednesday. Okay.
And at the gym, you're going to take your coronavirus and spread it around? What are you going to do?
Yep. I'm going to go right to the gym and sweat and drip all over. Yep.
Gross. All right. And I assume you have the same for me?
Yeah. So, I mean, you've already set the challenge for yourself that you're going to do this every day. So from now until the next time we record, I expect at least a daily workout from you.
All right. Well, that's definitely the plan. That's what I'm going to try and hold myself to, and, try and just remove all the barriers, no matter how big and frequently they come at me, and hopefully be able to report back nothing but success for the next few weeks.
You got this.
Yeah. I think that's going to do it for us for this edition of The Fit Mess. You can follow us again anywhere online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We've got a website, thefitmess.com. You can go there and catch every episode, and we have various blogs and things that we put up there as well. So check it out and follow us wherever works for you. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Spreaker or whatever you use to get your podcasts. And thank you so much for listening. We will be back in a couple of weeks at thefitmess.com.
See you, everyone.
We know this podcast is amazing and does not seem to lack anything, but we do need a legal disclaimer. Jeremy and Zach are not doctors. They do not play them on the internet, and even if they did play them on the internet, they would be really bad at it. Please consult your physician prior to implementing any changes that you heard on this podcast. The listener assumes that Jeremy and Zach do not know what they are talking about and that you will do your own research on the topics talked about on this podcast.